In Washington as well, the White House became the latest target in a dangerous nationwide trend called swatting, where a false report is made to 911 or other law enforcement or emergency responders in order to draw a big response, sometimes with SWAT teams. Evan Lambert is live in Washington for us this morning with more on the incident at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. Evan, thankfully, this situation didn't escalate.
Exactly, Adrienne. And we are learning more this morning about the incident from a source familiar with the investigation. That person telling NewsNation the incident that drew that frantic fire response to the White House was likely some sort of swatting call. But this adds to the list of institutions and politicians who have become targets of this dangerous hoax designed to create a chaotic emergency response and in many cases bring the SWAT team in, hence the name swatting. A call came in to 911 just before 7 yesterday morning, reporting a fire with someone trapped inside at the executive mansion. President Biden and the First Lady were not there at the time. Still, fire crews raced to the White House, but quickly determined it was a fake call, likely coming from a spoofed number. In the last few weeks, swatting has targeted members of Congress and other politicians from both parties at a time when the Justice Department is monitoring a surge in politically motivated threats against public officials. Some of the victims, Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene, Boston Mayor Michelle Wu, and at least 2 judges in the cases pending against former President Donald Trump, federal judge Tanya Chutkan, and New York Supreme Court Judge Arthur Engoron. And since the war broke out between Israel and Hamas, a surge of swatting caused major police responses at hundreds of synagogues across the country. The FBI saying those likely came from outside the country and were connected. Law enforcement are fighting back, though, charging suspects at the local and federal level. Just one example, the FBI arrested a California juvenile last month running an online-based swatting ring. And in 2019, one swatter got sentenced to 15 years in prison after a hoax hostage situation he called into the wrong address led the police to shoot and kill a surprised resident.
Look, it's an abuse of the 911 system. As I stated, it puts first responders at great risk unnecessarily. And ultimately, people do need to be held accountable and stop doing this type of thing. But as we know, there's bad actors out there that are going to wish to cause havoc, not only for first responders, but ultimately for the intended targets.
And Adrienne, according to the Anti-Defamation League, a swatting call and the associated response also means a big bill for taxpayers. One call can cost tens of thousands of dollars. Adrienne.
All right, Evan, thank you very much. We know we've seen a number of the swatting incidents, even the judge in President Trump's state.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.